going to shift gears with eCapitol News Director Shawn Ashley now. Instead of looking back at 19, let's look ahead to 2020. So dust off the crystal ball. Tell us what we're all going to be talking about when the legislature gets back to work in February. And let's begin with the state budget. If it's flat, what does that mean?
Well, it means that many agencies are going to be competing for those dollars. What we've seen so far is that some agencies are not asking for additional money, and even others, such as the Department of Health, have indicated that they could take a budget cut. But with only $9 million of growth revenue identified so far, when you look across the various requests, something small like $11 million for the Department of Corrections could eat up all that growth revenue. And then you have much larger requests from the Department of Education, the Regents for Higher Education, and some other agencies. So there's going to have to be a lot of talk about how to write that final 2021 budget.
So Governor Stitt's been working on his health care proposals. No specifics yet, but what can we expect?
Well, he says sometime in January he hopes to unveil what his plan will be. At the same time he is looking at putting forward a plan of his own, of course, there's the potential for the vote in 2020 on Medicaid expansion. At the same time, the chairs of the healthcare working group that was put together by legislators, specifically Charles McCall, the House Speaker, and Senate President Pro Tem Greg Treat, they have said that they too have some ideas that they would like to see considered. Thus far, we haven't seen that legislation, but it's possible we could have two different plans working their way through the legislature at the same time.
You mentioned Senator Treat, and he has an abortion bill which could go to the voters. What's that all about?
Yes, this was carried over from last year, and it began looking in one direction, and then it changed to a bill which said there would be no right to abortion found in the Oklahoma Constitution. That would be a constitutional amendment that would have to be approved by a vote of the people. Now, what's become more interesting about this in recent weeks is that the Attorney General, Mike Hunter, made a similar argument before the Oklahoma Supreme Court in a challenge to a couple of older abortion bills that are still pending.
Okay, I know you're getting busy right now, getting ready, right?
That's exactly right. We're looking at close to 3,000 new pieces of legislation to be filed by January 16th.
Thank you, Shawn.
You're very welcome.